Good afternoon, Professor. My name is Talvinder Kaur. I'm in a computer system technician, information technology, and infrastructure services program. So basically, this is my third semester. So today I'm going to describe my lab one, what I did in my lab one. So here's a detailed breakdown of each task based on what I accomplished. So I'm going to start from task one. So as per the instructions, I created the three VMs, VM1, VM2, VM3. So I gave them the name according to the instructions, the course code, my counter ID, and 01 at last, same as VM2 and VM3. So in the task one, I already connected with the remote desktop connection you can see here. So in the task one, first I created the network's backbone in this task by creating an Active Directory domain on VM1. So first I went to the manage and then the add roles and features. So here I installed the Active Directory domain by going to next. Here you can see Active Directory domain services showed installed because I already installed. That's why it showed installed here. So once the Active Directory role was installed, I promoted VM1 to a domain controller. So this step converts the server into the leading authority for managing the domain. So during the promotion process, I created a new forest and a domain named myconderID.corp. You can see here. So here I created my domain forest and domain name, which will serve as the main namespace for the network. So I also set the IP address for the DNS for VM1. And so when I am going to the tools in the Active Directory users and computers, I can show you that this is my forest domain. Under my forest domain in the computer section, you can see here it's showing my VM2 and VM3, but I deleted these two VMs in my first task. I can show you in my document where I put the screenshot. So this is my task one. I did the description and presentation, everything. So these are the screenshots of my task one. You can see Active Directory domain created on VM1 as per my counter ID. Um, so you can see the list, empty domain members list you can see here. Firstly, I deleted VM2 and VM3 from here, and you can see my VM as a domain controller here. So this is all my task one. So now I'm going to my task two. I can show you what I did in my task two. So first I joined with VM2 and VM3 to the Active Directory domain. So firstly I have to connect with the remote desktop of my uh, VM2. It's getting powered off, that's why it takes time. I have to reconnect this again. So now my remote desktop will work. More choices use are different. So here I have to put my username and the password secret55. So yeah, I have connected to the remote desktop now. You can see here. Perfect. So in the task 2, I joined VM2 and VM3 as members of the new domain as per my Condor ID. So this task involved configuring VM2 and VM3 with their respective IP addresses as mentioned in the instructions. Like my IP address is 10.180.101 point. So for VM2 I put 42 at last. For VM3 I put 43 at last. I can show you here. You can see 43 at last in VM3 and VM2. So in VM2 and VM3, I changed the DNS. You can see in VM3, I changed the DNS of VM1 in VM3 as same in VM2. So after changed both within the same subnet as VM1, so I rebooted them to finalize the process. Once the VM2 and VM3 were successfully joined. Afterwards, on VM1, I checked the Active Directory domain, users and computers in the tools and confirmed that VM2 and VM3 were not listed as domain members. But now it's showing because I changed the setting already for my task 3. So I can show you the screenshot of my task 2 in my Word document. So I did the description, everything, and presentation. And you can see VM2 joined to Active Directory domain. I put the DNS server as VM1 in VM2 and the IP address you can see 42 at last. And you can see the VM2 joined to Active Directory domain. I changed the setting and also VM3 joined to Active Directory domain and the DNS server I set to VM1. So yeah, I put the reflection also what I learned in the task 2. So this is all my task 2. So now I'm going to my task 3 where I manage user in the Active Directory domain using the RBAC best practices. So in this task, first I created my organizational unit as per my Condor ID. So let me open this. So in this, uh, I created two sub-organizational unit. First one is administrator user and the second one is standard user. So standard user for standard domain users and the administrator user for administrative privileges. So within the standard user, I created the Ava marker user, which is a member of domain users, and the administrator user, I created the Olivia Mia user as a member of domain admins. So this is all my task 3, and I changed the setting already. So in when I'm going to my VM1, I can show you here. So after I changed my settings here, firstly I put that domain as the work group workstation, then I changed to domain as per my Convert ID. So when I changed these settings, so in my tools and users and computers, so my VM2 and VM3 will be appear here. I can show you in my screenshots that I put in my task 3. So this is all my task 3. I did the descriptions, presentation, etc. So these are the screenshots. First, I created the organizational unit with my Condor ID. I already showed you how I did this. And the second, I also highlighted this organizational unit as per my Condor ID. And then the user I created in the administrative, and the user I so administrator user assigned to domain admins. I already showed you this thing that how I did this, and the Ava marker user created, and standard user assigned to domain users. And then next I showed you this, the domain members list appeared now. So I did the reflection also. So this is all task 3. So this is all I did in my lab 1. So thank you so much. Have a good one.